So it's about finding moments that money can't buy and being able to create those moments that people around you can embed in and have a real deep sort of understanding in the world. IPL, the biggest sporting league with the most, it's the most lucrative league in the world. They're paying players in excess of millions of dollars for just a month of cricket. So it aligns with, the NBA or some of these football contracts. But there is that lack of physical strength in the next ones as well. And then you look at the nutrition now, a lot of the food that people have access to a lot of it is processed or, due to, financial situations or whatever, they don't have access to certain dietary requirements per se. So this now has a challenge on being able to develop those physical athletes. Now, I think there is so much focus on financial focus now that people actually lose the means of actual qualities, international. You've got everything in life.
Yeah.
Why are you not happy, person?
Yeah.
They say, who's true around us? Life is like an ice cream.
Okay.
Enjoy it before it melts. And I've held that one since a very, very young kid.
So I'm here with Junaid, cricketer extraordinaire. Not just a cricketer, plenty more. So Junaid, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm very good. So just tell me, Junaid, obviously, cricketer. Wow, Tell us how obviously, obviously Asians should be good at cricket, as you know, but obviously being an actual professional in the sport must be very difficult. So how did you get into it?
Yeah, well, sports is an amazing industry as it is. It started from a very, very young boy having a dream, playing in the front room with my siblings, watching it on TV, and it fruitioned into something that I can be quite proud of, and everybody around, family included, can be proud of. It started from a young boy. From the ages of 5, I got selected, for my first game, playing for Greenwich under 10s. So I was playing with guys literally, double my age. And that in itself, the parents there at the day, they were laughing, and they were like, oh, he's a little kid, what's he going to do? Yeah. And I took a long run up, which is 25 steps, which still hasn't changed to today. And they're like, where's he going? Turn around and charge in and take 4 wickets in that game.
Oh, wow.
And everybody was like, wow, this kid's a bit special. And then, the very next year I was selected for Kent, playing hardball cricket under 10s as well. So that was the start of that. So that's where it all started from.
Wow, oh my god. And what about, obviously, because you're from East London?
Yep.
Yeah. In terms of your upbringing, your actual family home, how was that? Did you have a hard school life, you felt, or was it?
You know what, I can only be very, very grateful because, in South Asian communities, you don't find the natural support, especially for sports. It's usually directed towards, academia or other sort of professions. And, I was very lucky that my mother especially and my father really gave me that support and just said, go ahead and play it. My sisters and brother also played, that was to a county standard as well. But I just came through, and I'm very fortunate I had that support, because without that I wouldn't have been able to achieve what I needed to achieve. And I think that is so important in not just a sporting background, but in life in general. You need to have that family support.
Yeah. And in terms of, obviously, you're currently still playing cricket, of course. So where are you playing now, and what's your schedule like?
Yeah, so we're in the season now. I'm based in Norwich, Norfolk. I've been playing over there for a club over there in minor counties and so forth. But it's a new experience. It's something different, but an amazing part of the world. I'm really enjoying it. So again, grew up playing in Kent. Played a bit in Essex as well, and then just branching out over there. I've done some stuff overseas as well. Done some stuff for Lahore Qalandars, 1 year in Dubai and 1 year in Pakistan. And then I was part of the revival of cricket in Kashmir.
Oh, okay.
So Lahore Qalandars, they did a tour there, and then also following that was the Kashmir Premier League.
Okay.
So as a British, born Pakistani, to go overseas back home to Pakistan and take cricket back to a region of Kashmir, which again is a disputed region, but to be able to be part of that was a real honour and a real sort of sense of achievement. So God's been kind.
That's good. And in terms of the ultimate goal, what is the ultimate goal for you?
What is the ultimate goal? To just keep playing. As if you ask me as a kid, would I have imagined to play with the players that I have? It was just a dream. To be able to share the change rooms with some of the greatest names around, and go overseas and represent. It was just a dream come true. So it's just to see how far I can push myself. I'm an individual who's always striving. I'm looking to play, make my comeback into the county scene, and per se potentially England, and furthermore. So you've got the 100 competition here as well. So yeah, looking in the mixer of these, still pushing myself, still seeing how far I can go, and challenge my own body, which I love. And God's been kind of, we're continuing to push.
And do you feel like when people say cricket is a dying sport in the UK, what do you have to say to that?
Cricket is a dying sport in the UK. You can say there is a conversation on that now. What do we say is a dying sport? Where you have the 100, for example, it's one of the largest sporting leagues in the world, so it proves there's a success and there's a need for sport, especially of cricket. I say cricket's the second largest sport in the world, with over 2.5 billion fans in the world. IPL, the biggest sporting league with the most, it's the most lucrative league in the world. They're paying players in excess of millions of dollars for just a month of cricket. So it aligns with, the NBA or some of these football contracts per se. So, cricket is growing, but yes, in the UK, I think it's just the lack of participation. But I don't think it's just in cricket. I was having this conversation quite recently with a few peers about the next generation. We're seeing a lack of physical development. Now, if you look how much sports science there is in the world now, and how much that's developed, and how much how things are so advanced, right, in terms of personal training, nutrition. People should be able to beat Usain Bolt's 9 or whatever it is, 9 point something seconds. People should be able to hit 9 seconds by now. If you look at cricket, Shoaib Akhtar and Brett Lee bowled 100 miles an hour. With all the sports science and nutrition and all of the things, people should be breaking that. But you're struggling to find bowlers to bowl 90 miles an hour nowadays. And I think that's just a sense of the generations now. If you look at the next generations, yes, they're advanced in terms of electronics, computers, where the world is going. But in terms of physicalities, if you look at a man's perspective, they're not as developed. They're not as physically as strong. Some of them, if we're talking about the masses, when I was growing up, everyone was playing in the playground or whatever. PE was always a busy time of sports in school. You go out and play with your friends. You don't see that as much anymore. So there is that lack of physical strength in the next ones as well. And then you look at the nutrition now. A lot of the food that people have access to a lot of it is processed, or due to financial situations or whatever, they don't have access to certain dietary requirements per se. So this now has a challenge on being able to develop those physical athletes. Now, if you look at the sense of football, in the last decade we've been highlighted over two footballers, Ronaldo and Messi. But if you took it, 10 years before that, you had Ronaldinho, Zidane's, you had the Ronaldos, you had Beckham's, you had, there was everywhere. There was so many talented athletes around, and it's so different now. If you look even cricket, that golden era, I call it, between let's say 2000 and early 2000s to the early 2010s, was the era of cricket where you had all the legends, the big names like Shahid Afridi, Tendulkars, and they were the era of cricket. And they set up the platform for the people now to go and achieve and earn millions of dollars in the sports. So that's the outset of the outset of sport.
So what motivates you?
What motivates me? That's a good question. I think being able to really push your own limits, making those around you proud and happy. Obviously financial motivation is always there, but I think there is so much focus on financial focus now that people actually lose the means of actual qualities in terms of like my family. My father's done pretty well, and if I was to go and try to achieve half the things that he has, I've become a great man in my own respects. But it's being able to, for them, when I see them have their moments talking to their peers or friends or family about Junaid went and done this with, X, Y, and cricketers, and
Yeah.
he's achieved this, he's done this. Those moments are something that money can't buy.
Yeah.
So it's about finding moments that money can't buy and being able to create those moments
Okay.
that people around you can embed in and have a real deep sort of understanding. So it's quite, I think everybody has to look at, everybody is an emotional individual.
Yeah.
Everybody is a human. So being able to, fulfill those emotions that you need and require. Everybody has a lack of certain emotions, but I think being able to, provide those happy feelings and emotions for those around me, that's what sort of continues me to spur on and achieve greatness and help and do, see others succeed in the meantime and grow on that journey with others. So that's the whole core of it.
And you touched upon this now, but I'll ask you that question. So what does money buy happiness?
Does money buy happiness? I see you ask this question.
Yeah.
Does money buy happiness? Of course, look, money gives people a level of, sense of security. It gives people, luxuries or certain, expenditure that, as we call it, disposable income per se. But, as many people do answer and have that opinion, I've seen people with a lot of money who, and when I'm talking a lot of money, I'm talking billions, multi-billions. Great people and amazing humans. And and that's why I'm very grateful, because I get to know people for who they are, not really assess of what they are. And I think that's where, especially in this day and age, people look at who you are rather than what you are, and who you are as an individual, taking it quite deep. Because everybody's a human.
Yeah.
That's the reality. And I see these people, and I ask them the question. I was like, "You got everything in life.
Yeah.
Why? Why are you not happy, per se?"
Yeah.
And they say, "Who's true around us?"
Okay.
So who's true around you?
Yeah.
Then you look at people who, per se, have on a normal salary, per se. They're loving life. They're going out on a Friday night, going out with the lads, whatever.
Yeah.
Come Sunday morning, they're just still recovering and off to Monday and back onto it. But that's their sort of peace and happiness, and they're happy with that. They're content.
Yeah.
So it's be happy and never content. That's a big phrase, and that's a friend, Stephen Sully he does a great podcast. That's his quote, and be happy, never content is something that's always stuck with me, and that's a great quote.
Oh, I like that quote. It's a very good quote. And just for the next generation of cricketers, or even just general people, what's one word of wisdom or one phrase of wisdom you could give them?
Depends, right? Everybody has their own sort of meaning or problem or challenge in life. I don't like to say problems, I call them challenges.
Yeah.
Problems are negative outlook. Challenges, look, today's X, Y, and Z. Like coming up here today, there was a little bit of traffic on the way. There was a challenge. I was like, you have to write that off. Yeah. And I was seeing behind me just guys going at each other, and I'm like, you can't do anything. You're just stuck in them. There's no point. Just chill out and enjoy it. So, in my sense is that, look, in life you got to have. My quote that I go by is, life is like an ice cream. Okay. Enjoy it before it melts. And I've held that one since a very, very young kid. So life is like an ice cream, enjoy it before it melts. It's a simple quote, right? When you get an ice cream from, let's say, the ice cream man on the truck, within 5 minutes that could be melting down your hand and it gets all sticky, whatever, but you want to enjoy that while it's fresh, right? Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point of you getting an ice cream. But who knows how long that ice cream is going to last, right? If you're in a colder country, it could last cold. It could last a longer time. But it's that whole process of being able to enjoy what we have at the current time in our hands for that moment, because who knows what tomorrow's going to bring.
And what is tomorrow for you? What's the next step for you?
Look, I'm life's being grateful at the time. I'm setting up my own businesses at the moment, and my own cricket league as well. Just working on the property development side of things as well, keep pushing with the cricket side. So always got my hands full, always very busy, and just striving for more. I don't see it as a financial sort of step. It's more about personal achievements and milestones. Set yourself a target, achieve it. You never know how high. As they say, aim for the star, or the stars per se, and you will land on top of the sky. So that's the best way to look at it, I think.
I like that. And let's finish with a few fun things, I think. Okay, so there's 10 bananas on the table. I take away 6. How many bananas do I have?
You have 6.
Okay. All right, repeat after me. Red.
Red.
Yellow.
Yellow.
Green.
Green.
Blue.
Blue.
What colour's the grass?
Green.
Repeat after me. Red.
Red.
Blue.
Blue.
Yellow.
Yellow.
Green.
Green.
What colour's the grass?
Green.
Repeat after me.
What colour's the grass?
Yeah, we got it. Yeah,
What
repeat
colour is
after
the
me.
grass?
What colour's the
Yeah.
grass? There we go. We got it. Okay. And name me 3 countries with the letter Y.
Why? I couldn't tell you that. I couldn't even tell you one if I could. Geography's poor.
With the letter Y.
With the letter Y.
With the letter Y.
With the letter Y.
So with the letter Y in it.
In it. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Does that help you?
Well, yeah. Do you want me to still name them?
Yeah, if you can. If you got it. If not.
No,
No?
not with me.
That's all right. No worries. That's fine. That's all right. That was a hard one. Uruguay, Paraguay, Yemen, Germany.
Good ones.
Okay, I'll give you a little riddle.
Mm.
What can you catch but you can't throw?
What can you catch but you can't throw? No idea.
A cold.
The cold.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that. That was good. That was a good one.
Is there anything else you want to talk about before we sell? Because we went through all that really rapid, to be honest.
You know, I think people in this generation with social media and you know with how powerful it can be is using it for the right positive tools. You know, being able to portray a positive message, relaying what you are doing, and showcase a positive side of an individual. You know, I see people getting into, you know, doing things, and you know, they're achieving what they need to, but you know, I think being able to put a positive outlay on it, show your talents. You know, you got these things and platforms now. Like when I was growing up, if I was 5-6 years old and I had the, you know, social media like I did, I think I would, you know, God was kind. Then I had great success. I had great fame as a young boy. You know, 9 years old, I won Young Sports Personality of the Year. Alongside the likes of Amir Khan. He was Senior Sports Personality of the Year. Jermaine Jackson was in attendance. His family and so forth. Obviously, like the likes of Theresa May, and delivered a speech that was really, you know, high up there. And I think being able to have those positive tools now to showcase those things. So use those things to showcase a positive message to society. I think that's one of the things that I would relay, because you know we use it, it's in our hands, we scroll more than we do anything nowadays. So just try and showcase the positive things out there, you know, with all of the stuff that's going on in the world. You know, it can have an effect. You know, if you're talking about the lives that are lost, you know, we can only say, you know, all over the world. You know, if you're talking in Africa, Europe, you know, in the Middle East, we obviously hold our hands up and pray for those losing their life, of course. But you know, what we need to understand, and what people need to understand, is that the people who are watching these things on social media, it also has an effect on those people watching it, mentally and psychologically. So how can we make sure that those people, you know, are seeing those things, but also getting a positive outlook? Because if you're seeing too much negativity, it's only going to be, it's going to detriment our mental health even more. You know, we just come out of COVID, and so much going on. So it's been a tough few years for people. Obviously with the crisis of financial things globally, you know, people are relying on people now, and because of social media and the whole attachment to it, you know, I'm sure you understand it as well. When you go out and you see people on their phones so much, rather than old school days, you didn't really have that. You just actually sit down, go for a meal, go for a pint, whatever it is, what they want to do, sit down and actually have a conversation. So that aspect is now gone. But I think nowadays we need that so much more in society than ever, and being able to connect with, you know, one another more than ever, because people have lost that side of actually opening up. And I think it's so valuable being able to open up to individuals.
No, definitely.
Because without that, you know, you can't let those, you know, emotions out that people really have truly inside them. And having that, being able to be someone's sponge, you know, having that one person that I say is that if that one person, you know, you don't know who it could be, will truly love you and respect you, right? And that one person, you know, you just want to do it for that person. And that's being able to have that, you know, human connection now is so valuable.
Oh wow, that is inspirational. Well, it's been a pleasure having you.
No worries.
And thank you so much for coming.
No worries. Thank you.
Yeah, you'll just stay tuned. Obviously, his Instagram profile is on the comments, and yeah, just make sure you follow and share.